It was one of those moments where I felt like I was just a grain in the sand, part of the universe. Hello, culture eaters! I hope you're having a fabulous day, and I hope you enjoyed my little urban clip that I showed you before. It's the urban jungle, because today is Travel Talk Tuesday. It's May 2nd, and guess what today is also? It's yours truly's birthday. Today is my birthday, so I'm so happy to be celebrating it with you guys. This week's topic for Travel Talk Tuesday is best nature spots that you have visited. So, you know, Canada is very known for a lot of greenery. So I love luscious green areas and forests and everything, but it's not an out of character thing for me. So that's when I realized that the nature spots that I really enjoyed and that really marked me in my life were sceneries and landscapes that I just couldn't really wrap my mind around because it was just so completely unfamiliar to me. Bigger than life spots. And I kind of realized that it started forming a couple of categories. Like there's kind of three categories to the nature spots that really influenced me. The first one is the one where I would say I could picture myself living the most. Are rugged ocean areas. Nova Scotia, and we did Cape Breton, which is part of the Appalachian mountain range, and it's just these green, huge, curving roads along the Atlantic Ocean. It's very lush, very beautiful. There's a lot of trails that you can walk there. We did a few. One that was really interesting was called the Bog Trail, and this one had a lot of carnivorous eating plants. A lot of people go to Cape Breton hoping to see moose, and most people don't. And the next thing you know, when we were like in the most northern part, and there was a mommy moose and a baby moose that walked by. So it was amazing. That was just like a gift from nature that we got to see a real live moose walking by. Another gorgeous rugged coast that I really enjoyed is the Pacific coast. Over a few trips, I've maybe driven from the Point Reyes National Park, which is north of San Francisco, down to about the midpoint of Big Sur, which is a big national park, sort of between San Francisco and Los Angeles. It's the best along the water car ride ever. It's like rocky cliffs, really zigzagging roads into the crevices of the mountain and back out all along the Pacific Ocean. It's just amazing. And another really rugged coastline that I enjoyed was in Cinque Terre in Italy. When I went, it was still allowed to hike between the 5 villages through the mountains. It was just amazing, and there's some amazing shots there again, right at cliffs right up against the Mediterranean. And villages, entire towns perched on mountains right along the Mediterranean. Before I get into my next list, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel. You don't want to miss any videos to come. Desolate, arid mountain chains. It's just not something I'm used to here at all, so I'm just fascinated by them. The last really desolate mountain chain I saw was in China when I went to the Great Wall of China at the Mutianyu Gate. And you just drive 70 kilometers out and you're up in these massive mountains. They're very dark and black and have little valleys and sinuous dried riverbeds. It was just amazing. The next one was the Tayrona National Park in Colombia, which I went to during a cruise stop. We went We went snorkeling. It was my first time snorkeling ever, so I loved it. We just had these desert, arid mountain chains. They're just phenomenal to take a look at. My next amazing mountain chain is the Andes. When I went to Peru, mostly to Cusco, I did Machu Picchu and all of that and a lot of the other ruins in the area, but just that whole part in the Andes is very arid as well, but you have a little bit of cacti. I had periods where I walked in the country on the road between villages, which you really should not do, but I did it. It was one of those moments where I felt like I was just a grain in the sand, part of the universe, that I meant nothing and I meant everything to our existence. The painted desert in Arizona, and you just see the Badlands and it's the painted desert part, and they have like lines. They're very red colored, but there's also like it looks painted, like, and there's like a watercolor practically, and there's lines. You can see the sediment buildups, and you have some shades of red, some with hues of lavender. That I think was the most amazing at peace with the universe moment I've ever had. It was late in the afternoon and I was the only person there at that time, and I just sat there and I think I observed and absorbed the energy for 45 minutes. It was just a gorgeous spot. Have you been to any of these places? If you have, I would love to hear about it. Make sure to leave a comment below, and I would love to have a conversation with you about the different places in nature that you have been to and that have really struck a chord in your heart. Finally, my third section, I'm going to also include deserts and very, very unusual landscapes. So my first desert experience was I did a road trip in the southwest of the US. So I flew into Phoenix. I've never seen a cactus on the side of the road. It felt like it was a Western. It just completely, thoroughly fascinated me. And another area I really enjoyed is a town, an area called Sedona, where there's these small mountains, like rocks kind of perching here and there outside of the desert. And they are red, they're brick red, they're unbelievable to see. I've never seen anything like it. Another place that I really enjoyed the unusual landscape is the Petrified wood forest, which is in Arizona. And it's these old, an old forest that kind of just died off, and the trunks got, I think, buried with sand, and with time and everything, they turn into agate. So you have these trunks or these slices of agate that have taken the exact form of the trees that used to be there before. It's unbelievable. It's like walking in a geology store right in the desert. And there's some parts of that park as well that look like lunar landscapes. You really think that you're walking like on the moon. It was just mind-boggling to see. And finally, my last spot that came up a little bit later at the end when I was thinking of my different areas was in the Rocky Mountains. There's a few spots where you're up on mountains and you see lakes that are just, with the mineral deposit, are blue and green reflecting in the sun. It's just, it'll take your breath away. But the one thing that really, really struck me as an unusual spot when I was in the Rockies was the Colombia Glacier. I stood on a glacier. It was my first and ever contact so far in my life with a glacier. Kind of cool, so that is something you can actually walk on and touch. So that just really blew me away. That's so long ago. It's like 20 degrees, it's super nice, everybody's in a t-shirt, but that's a giant pile of snow. The urban glacier. You see, it's just ice. So I really hope that you enjoyed this Travel Talk Tuesday. Make sure to check out all the links below of the other people participating and the playlist link. Great tribe of travel vloggers. Check them out. They're really awesome and it's fun to get different perspectives. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. Again, subscribe, leave a comment, and give it a thumbs up. And I will see you very soon. Bye.